Hi there, I am Michael Sipe, owner of Sipe Coaching and Consulting, and I am the Chief Operating Officer of the Strategic Advisor Board and host of the Empowered Leadership Tips. So for today, I'm going to talk a little bit about why transformational efforts fail in business. So there are four areas I'd like to cover. First is one of the mistakes typically made is not creating enough sense of urgency. So sometimes when we look at our P&L and are looking at the sales or looking at the revenue, and suddenly things start declining, that might be okay, that might be normal. But if you do a quick analysis and look at the impact, we might actually be in a place where we're going to run out of capital very quickly. Might not be able to make payroll, might not be able to buy some new equipment that we had planned on. Sometimes it can be so drastic, we're going to have to start laying a lot of people off. And so one of the things that we need to do is convey a greater sense of urgency. And quite often, leaders or managers can get paralyzed because they don't know the exact steps to take, or they don't know how much downside is really there. Sometimes they don't have the patience to actually implement some big change. So creating a great enough sense of urgency really means that you have to look at a particular situation and be aware of how critical that situation is. So that's step one. Next one is lacking a vision, understanding and explaining why something needs to be done. And when one does that, they need to do something that says how that's to be done. They have to clarify how that's going to go. They need to specify what direction the organization might need to move. Okay, so these are all part of the vision, is seeing obviously what needs to be fixed or what needs to be implemented, and then explaining what that vision looks like. And they need to be able to articulate that in 5 minutes or less. I've seen people explain transformation that takes 30 minutes, maybe an hour. They're going through all these details and minutiae that are kind of important, but they really need to be able to distill it down in 5 minutes. So the next third thing about doing some transformational change, an area to cover, is that a lot of people under-communicate the vision. In other words, they don't share it enough. In other words, they have a big announcement, but that announcement is maybe one of 1,000 that are either emails or messages or publications or things that are said in a company. And so it's just a message of 1,000. So what they have to do is continue to communicate that message throughout the duration of the time that this transformational change is going to take place, because they want to emphasize how important it is. And people's memories, need to be refreshed every often, or they might not fully understand. So being able to communicate through a longer period is really important. And then the fourth thing that often happens is there are obstacles. So if you think about it, sometimes we want to implement a whole new product line. Well, maybe that requires a major software overhaul for the systems. Well, if they don't plan on implementing that software overhaul at the same time, people are going to be stuck using an old system that doesn't work for that particular new product. And so that's an example of an obstacle that frequently shows up, and being able to identify these obstacles early on and mitigate them helps create an opportunity for greater success. So those are four areas: understanding the sense of urgency, being able to be clear about a vision, communicating through a longer period of time, and also removing the obstacles that are sometimes impeding that progress.